I think when David Haye is more reserved, when he's pitted against big personalities like, say, John Fury and Tony Bellew, he is sometimes a bit more grounded in his energy and he ends up giving better opinions. He talks about the real technical battle, the styles clash, and you find yourself nodding more with David Haye going, yeah, you're on point here. But he is an egotistical, salesmanship kind of guy. Of course, he's a promoter. There's a vindictive aspect about David Haye. There always has been. And so when he says things like Anthony Joshua is going to do Oleksandr Usyk with a jab, it makes you think, why are you saying that? I don't think it's just to try and grab headlines. I think subconsciously David Haye is thinking, you know what? When I was at my best, I really would have fancied myself against Anthony Joshua. I reckon I could have lined him up because he's stiff, because he gasses, not as difficult as Fury, not as well drilled and as controlling as Klitschko. I reckon I could have lined this guy up, got him out of there. And so him saying that Joshua's going to jab and knock out Usyk, it's his way almost of saying, actually, I'm the second best cruiserweight of all time. That's how I used to be viewed before Usyk came along, made all those great defenses, linked up the championship, and pushed me out of the argument. Actually, Usyk's the second best cruiserweight of all time. Some people even think he pips Holyfield. I don't think he does, but you see, it's a close run thing there. I don't think David Haye likes that. There's an aspect of him where he's still like trying to grab onto his legacy and what he did at heavyweight. But I will remind you, in case you've forgotten, he talked a whole lot of twaddle about what he was going to do at heavyweight. He was talking like he was going to bring Mike Tyson destruction on the heavyweight division. And you might look at the highlights of him making big Nikolai Valoev wobble in the last round, which gave him the decision. But that was a really close fight. He almost lost that fight. Some people still think he deserved to lose the decision. It was a horribly economic performance where he kept jabbing at the body like once a round. The output was so low. Very uninspiring. I think it almost feels like the more people look back at David Haye's career, the more people question it, especially with Usyk, who's come along now, which was in his prime weight division of cruiserweight, what he's done there. More people are thinking, well, was David Haye that good? I don't think he likes that. And so I don't think it's just trying to grab headlines with Joshua does him with a jab. I think it's kind of ego damage control. He wants to see Joshua knock him out with a jab. That's why he said it so specifically. He wants to see Usyk fall. So even though he can go, okay, Joshua was probably a bit better than Valoev, he didn't quite get where I did. I've still got that to hold on to. Even if you say Usyk's a better cruiserweight than me, I've still got that to hold on to. It's true. David Haye is a bit of an egomaniac at times. If you rile him, he'll be right in your face. He probably mellowed a little bit now at 40, but I don't think the nicest guy. He's not a guy who's always carried himself with class. There's always been this edge to David Haye where he's been a bit like, fuck you. It's like, no, mate, what are you saying? No. He's just like that. He's not the idyllic, make a statue of the perfect champion. He's not that guy. And I think he doesn't like the idea that Usyk is seen as better than him, even though it's basically fact. It's a tough fight. Usyk might not have the power. The reason that Joshua is seen as the favourite, people don't think that Usyk can do that damage to him. They don't think he can probably penetrate like a Klitschko did. He's going to have to maybe rely on stamina, movement, frustrate him, exhaust him somehow. We don't know. It's a tough one. But sometimes it's more interesting what the outsiders say. Former champions like David Haye trying to have a little dig here and there. Is he going to be proven to be right? We shall see, but I think we know where it's coming from. Usyk is on the precipice of doing something very special. But I got news for you, David. Even if he does fail, he's still a better cruiserweight than you ever were.